Hi, this is a demonstration to show you how to follow the instructions to perform screen recording, but without using any paid software. First of all, we'll go to the website, and the URL is http://www.somprofs.org/moodle. Once you get to that website, you will see this screen, and there's no need to use a username or a password because I have set it up so that you can log in as guest and still have access to that material. We'll click log on, which will present this screen to you, and obviously we are not logging in as any particular user, so you can ignore this part of the screen of the web page, and instead we'll log in as a guest. Once you log in as a guest, the class or the course will not show up by itself, so what we need to do is to search for that course. Click View All Courses, and then go to CISC, and there will be many classes presented here. Oh, I'm mistaken. Let's go to CISA. And in CISA, the first class that is presented is what you want. It is CISA599 2011 Fall Flex Day. So we'll click that. And because you are a guest, you will have to agree to a site policy agreement. You don't have to read through this if you're already faculty, but it is really for mostly for student use. We'll click yes here. And now we have access to the website. The first part of this part here, if you click the play button, it will just replay one of my previous screen recordings as an example, as a demonstration. And instead of doing that today, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and click on the second topic, the first part of it, which is software for Windows. This is what we are illustrating. What I'm illustrating today is how do we perform screen recording in Windows using only open source software. Once you click that, you will see the instructions. The first instruction is to get VLC from this link here. So what I'll do is to right click and open link in new tab. So this way we don't lose track of the instruction while being able to go to the website. When you go to VLC, which is Video LAN, you will see several options. When you scroll down here, you will see the installer package, 7-zip package, or the zip package. The easiest way to do it is to use the installer package. Now the more important part here is we want to make sure that VLC is only available in 32-bit. If you have a 64-bit system, the 32-bit program would still work, so that should not be a problem. So we'll go ahead and click Installer Package, and it will go ahead and download the file in one. Okay, so there we go. We are downloading the file. We'll go ahead and save the file and wait for this to complete. I'm using Firefox right here. Internet Explorer will probably give you the same kind of screen and then ask you what to do about the file. And the file is now almost downloaded. We only have a little bit of content left. There we go. Once it is downloaded, double click on the file that you just downloaded. It's an executable. You can just double click and run the program. It will always give you a warning regardless of the browser whether to run it or not. In this case, we'll go ahead and run it. And there we go. When you run the installer, we'll go ahead and just accept all the defaults. There's no need to change any of the options. You can change it if you want to, but for the most part, I don't think there's any need to change the options. The first part is just to accept the GPL, which is an open source license. And the second one, allows you to customize, where what you want to do with the installer. Most people can just, install all of this. If you want to de-associate, audio files, video files, and others, and let Windows Media Player to handle those particular files, you can go ahead and just unselect file type associations. I'll just go ahead and leave these options the way they are, and click Next. And then it will let you specify the installation location. If you're running a 64-bit system, the location is not going to be program space files. It is going to be program files and then open parentheses x86 or something like that. And that's perfectly fine. Just accept all the defaults, and then we click Install. While this is getting installed, we'll go back to the browser to look at the second step. The second step is to get Unreal Screen Capture Direct Show Filter, which is a mouthful, and the URL is here. We'll right click and open it as a new tab as well, so we don't lose the other link. And this is the web page. The link that you want is somewhere a little bit after the middle, so you want to scroll a little bit past the middle part here, and you can see right here it is Screen Capture Direct Show Source Filter, and that's what we want. Now this part here we have to be careful because it is available in two versions. It is available for 16-bit, for 32-bit systems, which is the x86 edition. It is also available for 64-bit operating systems, which is the x64 version. This is only a part of the VLC installer. We'll go ahead and minimize, or just switch back to here. This part is really important. I'm sorry for the distraction, but this part is really important because we want to select the x86 edition. Even if you have a 64-bit system, we have to select the 32-bit version of this. The main reason is because VLC is only available for 32-bit, we have to make sure that the direct show source filter matches that version. That is really important. If you install the 64-bit version here, the installation can be successful, but VLC will not be able to use the direct show filter. So we click the first option, and it is a zip file. If you're running XP or anything after Windows XP, it will be able to open up a zip file automatically, so there's no need to install WinZip or any software like that. Just click OK, and it will download and open it right here. This is a relatively small program, and that's why it did not take a long time to download and display it. We'll double click the installer itself, and this way it will go through its own agreement. This is not open source. It's free software, but it's not exactly open source. We'll click I agree, click Next, and it will also have a default location to install the software. The default is fine, and now we have the software installed, and then click Close to close this program, to close the installer. Okay, and then we can click, we can close the zip file itself because we won't need that anymore. And now we go back to the instruction, to the third step. Install both components. We just did that. And then we will scroll down here. Each time you want to perform screen recording or screen capturing, you will have to follow these steps. The first step is to start VLC. Now since I did not change any of the options, when I go to the start menu, I will see the VLC is now installed here, and there should be a link to VLC somewhere. Or maybe it did not finish the last step. Let me double check. Oh, it did not finish the last step. The installer basically stopped at this screen to see whether I want to run VLC Media Player. And since we are going to do that anyway, well, let's not do that. So I can show you exactly how to start it from the start button. So we'll finish the installer, and then we go to the start button, go to all programs, and you will see Video LAN right here, and we'll go ahead and start VLC Media Player. I know it doesn't seem to make any sense because what we want to do is to perform screen recording or screen capturing, and we are running a media player. But trust me, this will work. Okay, now this is a VLC running in full screen. There's no need to really run it in full screen at this point. We'll go ahead and restore the window and just downsize it a little bit because we don't really need all that space here. So we're downsizing it to just a smaller window here. Alright, in VLC, click Media on the menu bar and then select Open Capture Device. So we'll go ahead and do that. Click the Media menu, and then in it you want to select Open Capture Device. This is the menu item that we want to click on. And then give you the screen, which is Open Media. And what we want to do is for the capture mode, let me switch back to the browser. For the capture mode, select Direct Show from the drop-down list. And it should be the default right already. And you can see that it is in fact the default. For the video device, select Use Screen Capture from the drop-down list. This step is really kind of optional because unless you have some other video devices, it is already the only device and you don't need to select it. But just to be sure, we'll go ahead and select Use Screen Capture here. And now we're at the fourth step. Look at the button at the bottom of the screen. Instead of Play, select Convert, and that should start a dialog box titled Convert. Now what that means is at the bottom of the screen here we have a button which is also a drop-down box. You click the drop-down box, it will give you several options. We want to select the last one, which is Convert. As soon as you click Convert, it is the same as clicking the button itself, and then the next screen will show up, which is the Convert dialog box. In the Convert dialog box, we want to specify the destination file because that's where the capture is going to end up at. Alright, and according to the instruction, we want to choose a file name that has an extension of MP4 because that's one of the more common container for videos these days. So that means for destination file here, we want to go ahead and specify a file. Now, when you do this, you can, if you know how to specify a full path, you can just type it in. But what I would do is to click Browse, so we can look at the entire file system. You can also see that the default location to save files is inside the VLC folder, which is not really the best place to do it. What you want to do is to click My Documents or something along that line, or if you have a thumb drive, go ahead and find the thumb drive to save it to, and then we can type the file name. I already have a file here called test with an extension of MP4, so what I'll do this time is to select another file name, which is test1.mp4. This is a new file, it does not exist yet. We'll click Save, and you can see the destination file is rather long, the path is rather long, but it's it's fine. The default profile should work fine, and what that means is under settings, the profile of video using H.264 as the codec and then audio using AAC is okay. And click Start to begin the capture. Okay, so we click Start here. VLC will display a time code at the lower left corner. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. This is what I'm referring to. Right now it is showing 22:55:56, but that time is misleading as it reflects only how long the direct show filter has been active and not the length of the capture. We have just started to capture. We have not been recording for 23 minutes. So that's basically what that means. And then the last point is also very important because unless you want to cut off the last 10 seconds or so of your screen capture, what you want to do is at the end of your screen capture, you want to wait about 10 seconds or so. The longer the better because you can always clip the end by using one of the open source video editors. But if you don't capture enough, there's nothing you can do to recapture that. So what we want to do is to wait a little bit after for the buffer to be emptied, and then we can switch back to VLC and click the stop button in VLC, which is the third button from the left, and the icon is a square icon. So we'll go ahead and wait 10 seconds. Well, right now I'm just pretending to wait for 10 seconds because I'm actually recording outside of this environment. I'm not really recording using VLC in this case. So let's go ahead and click the stop button, and just to run this experiment, we can wait until it is showing 24:30. Right now I just close it. So now when we replay the clip, we can actually check to see at which point the video clip is truncated, because I know it's going to be truncated. I just cannot tell you exactly how much is going to be truncated. So what I'm doing right now is not shown in the instruction here, because I'm just double checking the result of the recording. So I'll go to Media, go to Open File, and I want to select Test 1. This will open up the screen capture that we have just made and start to actually replay the whole sequence. You won't be able to hear the actual recording because I am recording outside of this environment. But you can definitely see that it is doing a replay of what we just captured, and the time code is here. So we'll just wait a little bit, or we can go ahead and fast forward. Let me see if that works. Unfortunately, the file format does not seem to support fast forwarding. Or maybe it does. Oh, it does. It just took a while. And we want to find out how many seconds are missing. Okay. The video, when we replay the video clip, it only showed up to 24:22, and we know that we clicked the stop button to stop the recording at 24:30. It missed the last 8 seconds or so. If you leave 10 seconds or so, that should be sufficient. But that part may depend on many other factors, like the speed of your computer, how much memory you have, and so on and so forth. So if you can leave 10 seconds, it's probably safer that way. And that pretty much concludes how to do your screen capture into a file. Once you have a file, then you have to find a way to distribute that to your students. Let's take a look at this particular clip. So we'll go ahead and click play that clip again. And this time we'll just pause it, because what I want to know is not exactly where the clipping point is. Because this time what I want to know is how long is the clip. This clip is only 1 minute and 38 seconds. And we'll go ahead and check what is the size of this file. We'll go to My Documents and go to Test 1. And this file is 2.2 megabytes or so for that for 1 minute and something. So you can imagine if you record a whole lecture, it is going to be quite a large file. And there are not really a whole lot of places that will accept a large file like that and and let you redistribute the content to your students over the internet. YouTube is one of those places. You can upload files that are 2 or more gigabytes each to the website and have your students to download it onto their own computer or stream it and view it at the same time. So that would be a pretty good resource. But at this point, this demonstration is concluded because I have just shown you how to install the necessary software components and how to use those components to perform screen recording / capturing. And I hope you find this video useful. Thank you.